NICTO and MAP, those kind of tools can be very useful. Wireless network testing, there are many various tools. Password cracking, the well-known John the Ripper and Hydra, you must know them. Those are the well-known password cracking tools that helps you on achieving those kind of activities within the penetration testing, which is authorized. And network traffic analysis, you can find a well-known, most knownly tool, Wireshark, and also TCP dump for any open source. But Wireshark is considered a well-known tool for network analysis and traffic capturing the packets within the network. It is kind of a sniffer, considered a sniffer within the context of ethical hacking. It is important to note that the use of penetration testing tools should comply with legal and ethical guidelines. Since the beginning, we mentioned this many times, and we will mention again and again. It is very important to keep in your mind ethical hacking. Authorized access and proper permission must be obtained before conducting any assessment, any penetration testing. Try to have something in written by the owner of that target, of that infrastructure that you are trying to assess or to penetrate through penetration testing. Try to have something on written, electronically or physically, something which is written and stated there by the owner that this infrastructure owned by this company or this department or this person is going to be assessed through penetration testing by this company, these penetration testing professionals by the name. And most importantly, those kind of authorizations need to have a date. Put a date there. Those are considered by the EC Council on the course Certified Ethical Hacker, which I have finished and done and get certification. Those are this kind of permission obtained by the owner is considered as a jail card, something that save your life in any situation that you might end up. Who knows? Different activities and many things can happen during that conducting that penetration testing, and that authorization, that paper helps you very much and save your lives in any situation that you might come up in the future. So be very cautious and try to keep in mind, don't forget, do not start any evaluation or assessment or penetration testing toward anyone without having that written authorization. Reporting and remediation. After conducting and finishing penetration testing as activity in all of those steps and delivering that report, the penetration testing has done its job, but the process is not finished yet because we need to fix, to remediate, to mitigate those kind of those vulnerabilities that we have identified and provided through the report, penetration testing report, which was delivered to the organization. It is very important to follow the steps in reporting and remediation. Organizations can ensure that the identified vulnerabilities are properly addressed, mitigating the risks and improving the overall security of their systems, networks, and applications. It is very important to follow up on those processes of remediation through the reporting. Those helps you very much to fix and mitigate the vulnerabilities that has been found within your infrastructure, network, or application. We mentioned on the beginning the definition and the mainly practices within cybersecurity, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, VAPT. Let's again come up to this point. Let's discuss more on the role of the VAPT. Vulnerability assessment and penetration testing are proactive measures to address the risks. VAPT helps identify and rectify weaknesses before attackers can exploit them, before they identify and use them against you. By simulating real-world attacks organizations can understand their existed vulnerabilities and take necessary steps to mitigate and strengthen and maintain and enhance the defense of their infrastructure. As technology continues to develop, so at the same time also the cyber threats, cyber attacks, we have seen that those have emerged and has advanced in methods and techniques. The importance of cybersecurity extends beyond the individual interest. It impacts businesses, governments, and society at large. We have experienced some of the large-scale cyber attacks that has been conducted on different countries and states. By implementing robust cybersecurity practices, including regular VAPT assessment, organizations can strengthen and mitigate those risks and ensure that the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of their digital assets is maintained on the required level that is needed to be. On the rules of the VAPT, vulnerability assessment on the identification. VAPT starts, vulnerability assessment starts with identifying vulnerabilities, as we have described earlier, on the steps of penetration testing. And vulnerability assessment tools scan on networks and systems and do cataloging of known vulnerabilities that has been identified and weaknesses. Prioritization. Assessors evaluate the severity of identified vulnerabilities based on factors like potential impact and ease of exploitations. Those are the factors that determine the vulnerability severity and impact. This prioritization helps organizations focus on addressing the most critical issue first. Risk management, very important ones within a cybersecurity. Maybe in another webinar, we will elaborate and explain more on the risk management within cybersecurity. By understanding their vulnerabilities, organizations can make informed decisions on risk mitigation strategies and allocate resources effectively on risk management. On the other hand, penetration testing, real-world simulation. Penetration testing provides a practical, controlled environment to simulate those real attacks. Through utilization of different methods, techniques, and tools that we have explained to this moment, you can conduct such real-world simulation in a controlled environment. This reveals how a potential attacker or malicious actor or hacker might exploit vulnerabilities and helps organizations understand the practical implication of security weaknesses if those will be found by malicious actors or hackers. Exposing gaps. Pen testers attempts to exploit vulnerabilities, gaining unauthorized access and to system. This uncovers security gaps that might not have an apparent through vulnerability assessment alone. Validation. Penetration testing validates the effectiveness of existing security controls that we have implemented and incident response procedures. We mentioned earlier that penetration testing help us very much to evaluate the capabilities and the readiness on incident response. And organizations can fine-tune their security measures based on the insights gained by the penetration testing. I think those were mainly things that I wanted to talk for you and explain the main distinction, definition, and concept, steps, and process and methodologies, tools all around the penetration testing and for the whole cybersecurity, where we have two practices within cybersecurity. Try to remember penetration testing and vulnerability assessment.